Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paper Guy.
And I'm Mr. Magazine.
Mr. Magazine, I see a lot of people out on YouTube, a lot of resellers, and the number one thing that a lot of them preach, and for some reason we don't at all, is basically sell-through rate, how quickly you move your product.
Yes.
For some reason, that's not overly important to us. Why? Discuss.
Not with the type of stuff we sell. I think it would be impossible to have a very high sell-through rate. And we've been doing this for decades. So, I mean, if it was going to happen to anyone with the product we sell, it would happen to us. If you could, it just doesn't happen. Certain things, maybe watches, maybe sports cards when they're at their peak. Clothing could be high sell-through rate, but certainly ephemera, collectibles of, like that, stamps, forget about it. No shot.
And why?
I think there's too much of it out there. there's too much variety, too much for people to purchase. It's all spread out between, tens of thousands of sellers selling similar things or the same types of stuff. Time Magazine. How many people want, a specific issue of a Time Magazine? One at any given time, two, or someone passes away, or if it's a birthday, but never enough where we're going to sell 100 Time Magazines in a week and move on.
Actually, that's a really good point, really good way to put it. The way we come into things with the long tail is the best we can hope for is to sell enough out of a collection to get our money back in a short period of time. In order for long tail to work and for the sell-through rate to be not important, you need to be able to buy in bulk cheap. And that's really what it comes down to. Yeah. And we'll use the Time Magazine example that Mr. Magazine just said. 100 Time Magazines from the 1950s through 70s come in, just a random sampling of them. You go and you pay, what would you pay on those? I've got a price in my head, just a random sample.
Average condition, $1 a piece.
That's on the high end, $100. Yeah. I was thinking 40 to 50 you could get it for, because a lot of times people at the flea markets, now you buy differently than I do, different places. People would bring it into you, they've hauled it all in, they've schlepped it in, they probably want a little more. Sure. I'm schlepping it away, from the table, so I'm going to pay a little less because I'm the one doing the labor to get them the heck out of there. But they've got them all sitting there, they got 100 of them, they're probably asking $1 a piece on them. Right. Then I'm going to say to them, how much if I take them all? And they're going to come back at some price from $40 to $60 is probably usually what they're going to come back at. Yeah. So we'll just say $50 I pay on them. I'm going to be pricing them up. Now, if I went for, let me ask you this. What would you and I price those at? Just average issues.
Oh, $10 to $15.
I'm at 15 to 20, but yeah, okay, so I'm a little bit higher. But so 15 to 20, say $15 is a nice price. I paid $50 for them. I got 100 of them. I priced them up $15 each. I got them all listed lickety split.
Yep.
$1,500 potential back on them. If I sell 4 of them, I'm at $60. I'm basically out of them with 4 of them.
Yep.
Can I sell 4 of them in a month or 2? Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to. Yeah.
So I could be out of them in a month or 2. Then I sell one 3 months later. I sell one 5 months later, and so on. And that's where you make your money.
Right.
Now let me flip that on its head, Mr. Magazine. Mm-hmm. I paid the $50 for them, and I want to move them. Mm-hmm. I list them all individually at $3 a piece.
I was just going to say the same thing. If you price them all at $3 a piece, you still wouldn't sell them all in a month. But
exactly.
if you say you're the lowest on eBay for every issue you put out there, and you're $3, which is super cheap, throw in free shipping. Now you're losing money.
Well,
you still wouldn't sell them all with 100% or even near that sell-through rate. But if Johnny Nike seller had these hot Jordans and he had 100 of them and he was the cheapest enter, then he would have a 100% sell-through rate.
Right.
So the product definitely makes a difference.
And the reason I bring this up is I was over on the Whatnot Reddit, and they were talking about basically somebody put up there, why would anybody do Whatnot, was their question. And they commented in there that on eBay, with the items they sell, they put it up, they get better prices, and they sell through 70% of their items.
Wow.
Yeah, that was exactly what I said.
And what items are they selling?
They didn't mention what categories they were selling in. Perhaps it was Pokemon, perhaps it was something or other like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not the ephemera category.
Right.
Because if they figured out a secret to sell 70% of the ephemera that they put up,
I'd pay a lot of money for that secret. I'd pay tens of thousands of dollars for that secret. Definitely.
But that's what got me thinking about the whole thing too. When you're in some of the slower categories, the longer tail categories, be it ephemera, be it books, sell-through rate that matters much, much less. Obviously, you have to have some sell-through rate or you would never make any sales. Right. But your expectation is not that you're going to sit there and move the stuff right away. And most of the time, you're paying so little on it. Now, there are some exceptions. Let's say that you, Mr. Magazine, somebody came into the store and they had a CGC 9.2 first Playboy.
Okay.
You're going to pay high, and not high, but you're going to pay a lot of money on it. You're not paying 50 cents to $1 for it.
Sure.
I have no idea even what that goes for, but you're going to pay 60, 70% of value on it, I would think, because you're going to have to pay that on it.
Yeah.
And that you're going to basically, you're going to make a few $100s probably for your time and trouble is what's going to end up happening, because you are going to sell through it fairly quickly, but you also have thousands of dollars tied up into that one item.
Right.
That's few and far between with the stuff that we do. Usually the stuff that we end up buying, we're talking, 15 cents to $1 is what we have invested in each item, even less on a big enough deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done item, deals where I've got 2 cents an item, a penny an item into stuff. Well, if I have a penny an item into it, I'm not really looking to double my money.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't care if I can double my money in 20 minutes unless it's just literally one of those, hey, I just spent $100,000 and Mr. Magazine is willing to give me $200,000. Yeah, I'll drop this off at a penny an item.
Right.
Yeah, I've got how many ever items that works out to? I got 10 million items. Yeah, I'm going to drop those off in Mr. Magazine's warehouse and let him deal with it. But, on a given item, I paid a penny and I sold it for 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Good for me. So hopefully that helps you a little bit, because you'll hear a lot of people out there talking about the importance of sell-through rate, and in certain categories it is very, very important. In the ephemera and book categories, where they're much more long tail, not nearly as important as long as you don't pay very much for the items, which by just nature you don't. They're out there, and a lot of people want to see the stuff gone. And if you're dealing with somebody who's not willing to deal with you on price, walk on by. If you see that look in my eye, walk on by. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Hit the like button if you could. Comment down below your thoughts, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.